Hello, how's everyone doing? I hope you are having a fantastic day. And today we are going to discuss a very important subject for trading. Learn the secrets to find support and resistance. As you may know, support and resistance are very important. So in this video, I will show you the way to actually draw them correctly so they actually have some relevance in your trading. So are you ready? Okay, let's go. But first, please subscribe to my channel, comment, like the video, and of course, tick the bell so you get notified every time I have a new video. Okay, so why do we need them? Why do we need support and resistance lines? First, because they are the simplest tool for technical analysis. So why do we need them? Let's speak about why do we need support and resistance lines, right? So first, because they are the simplest tool for technical analysis. We need to make sense of the markets. Otherwise, they seem too random for us. So the way we make structures around price and the way we have to understand price action and how it's moving is first by finding those support and resistance levels. And then second, because everyone sees them and respects them. You know, even hedge funds, institutions, traders, even bots, everyone who actually is interested in the markets, whether for investing or trading, uses support and resistance. So we need to actually know professionally how to draw them. Okay, so first of all, we have to try to avoid at all costs to have cluttered charts. So that's very common that, you see a lot of places where price reacts and you start drawing and suddenly your chart is completely full of lines everywhere, and then it's very hard to understand where actually it's important where actually for price is important and where it's not. So first of all, we need to start with a clean chart, and I will show you the steps to find support and resistance. So first of all, go to a bigger time frame. I normally start with the monthly and then go from there because I don't know, if you find a support or resistance in the 15-minute charts, it's not really going to be relevant. I will show you now with examples, of course. And now, of course, look for obvious areas of support and resistance. That's the second step. I know that sounds obvious, but yeah, first you need to let your eyes and your common senses guide you to find support and resistance. And then you will fine tune with more touching points in lower time frames. Okay, so let's go straight to a chart. So let's start with a clean chart of the US dollar, Canadian dollar. And let's go to the monthly chart. This is a lot of information. We will not trade most likely with the monthly chart, but we have to understand when price is in a very significant level, because you know levels on the monthly chart are the most powerful, so you really need to actually look for them. Although, for example, let's say we have this level, it's very far away, so it's not very relevant for us right now. Of course, we have this level here, which is the support of all the supports, but it's also not relevant. It hasn't been relevant for 10 years right now. And we also have this level here. I would say somewhere here, because we have touching point here, touching points here, here, and here. So we start to find to close price to where we are right now. And yeah, I think for the monthly, well, we could also let's see how this works. Somewhere here. Okay, I'm not so sure about that one, but it doesn't matter. We will see on the weekly chart how it looks. And on the weekly, you can see that the levels that we already draw are indeed relevant. This one is relevant here. The one in the middle, maybe we can find a better place here. Yeah, you can fine tune. Always you can use the lower time frames to fine tune. We're still in the weekly. Keep that in mind. And I will say this level is relevant. Let's go to the daily. And in the daily, as you can see, our two levels that we can see right now are very relevant. Maybe we could fine-tune this one a little bit so we can catch all these touches, because we have this touch here, we have these touches here. Here we have some action that went below it, but then it went back. We have a little bit of the same here. Here it acted first as support, then as a resistance. But of course now we have also this level here, which we may not use right now because price is a little far away. But as you can see, it was important here, so we will keep it. And I will say we have one more important place somewhere here, right? And as you see, I start with a longer time frame, start like zooming in, and from there start to fine tuning our levels. And well, for example, this, maybe we could draw it here. Sometimes people ask me if you should draw them on the week, on the end of the week, in the middle of the body, in the end of the body. Where should you draw them? Well, I would say that, of course, the most important places to draw them are where the wick, where the candle ends, like here, for example. As you can see here, this is important because, you know, price, this is the closing, and the closing is always important. But since you have to remember that these are support and resistance are zones or ranges, they are not exact. But for example, here you have our line touches this high, which means that it's important because it was the high of the day. But so you have to find the place where you have the most amount of closings and highs or lows. But you know, for example, here it was being tested as support for a little while. Here it coincides perfectly. Here it doesn't. But if you would move it all the way up here to make it coincide with the high of that day, then you will miss all of these important lines. So important touches, I mean. So for in my opinion, the best way is to try to actually make it work for both instances, both to have the most closest opens and or highs and or lows, but also to have the most amount of touches. So I think that's why this one is relevant. There is another one here that you could argue it's important, but for two reasons. First, because it has been important in the past several times, and also because it was important just now, like very, very recently. And so that confirms that right now for us this level is important. So yeah, well, from here it doesn't matter if you go to the 4 hour, then or to the 1 hour. Then look, if you are trading the 1 hour chart, then this line is definitely very important, or this one. So, or even if you would go for the 15 minutes, look, you could have scalped here or trade the breakout or whatever your style is. You can see that this level was very important. All right, let's go to another example. Okay, so let's see how the GBP US dollar looks, the Great Britain pound US dollar. And we will start with the monthly again, as you know. You can see, well, right now we are very close to the low part of the range for the currency pair. So that's why I like to start on the monthly chart, because you can really see right now what is happening with the currency pair. So we know that we just tested this low that was very, very, very relevant, and so yeah, this rejection is very important. So well, yeah, so we can keep it from there. Well, yeah, we have these highs that we don't really care right now, but we will draw them anyway. We have this, maybe, yeah, somewhere here or even here, that we also don't care very much because it's so far away. We have this, that it start to get a little closer to us, maybe here, As you can see, we have a few closes here. Here we have just some support, rejection, strong rejection. Here we have another close, another close, another close. Yeah, some rejection. So let's take it from there and let's move to the weekly chart. In the weekly, we can see that this is very important. I don't think we really need to move it right now. And we can see that the bottom part is still very, very important. But we can definitely find something. Let's see exactly where. Maybe here or here. This is a little tricky. I will put it here because it's more relevant for recent price action. We still have here some rejection, here some support and rejection, here also some resistance. So I will say that's our level. I see one more here, but let's see how it looks on the daily. Yeah, looks very good actually. And how about our top line? Yeah, I would say that's very important. And as you can see, with this way of analyzing the markets, you end up with 3 or 4 lines, or even 5, but not more than that, because that's more than enough. I mean, the one, look, I will say here is another one that is important. Yeah, I mean, of course, the line that we have all the way down here is not that important for us right now, but it's a good reference on how the price is behaving. So you can see we had this very important support line, and then price was rejected from there, and we started on a new uptrend, right? And that's very easy to see. And our lines help us build structure and understand what is happening. So yeah, from there, yeah, this is like the simplest way to analyze the market, and we have a very clear understanding of what is happening. So we have a rejection of this previous resistance, now support, and yeah, we have a possibility that the uptrend will continue. So that's why these levels are important, because they help you understand the story on how the market is moving. Okay, so yeah, let's go back to our presentation. Okay, so now we have to understand when are support and resistance reversals. So when do we consider them a reversal point, or where can we consider them a breakout point, right? Because we can have both options. So first, let's see when they are considered support and resistance are considered reversals. Normally you have bigger and stronger candles going right into market structure or support and resistance. You see these big candles just getting there and then being rejected. Then that is normally like a good sign that they are actually reversal points. And yeah, you have these big rejection candles, and then when you see them, you have a better possibility, or there's a bigger chance that these support or resistance lines are actually reversals. Okay, then when are support and resistance lines getting weak, or prices getting ready to do a breakout? When you have a lot of continuous tests, sometimes you can see a level that it's a support or resistance, and then price comes back and back and back again and again to test it, and then at some point it will break, because you can see how price is actually moving, trying to break it a lot of times until pressure is too high, right? Then the next one is price action pressure, which is a little similar, but it means basically, let's say that you have a support line. You will see in an example right now, but let's say you have a support line, and then you have a test, then a high, then test again, then a lower high, then a test again, and a lower high, test again, which makes like a kind of a triangle. And that normally means that the sellers are stronger every time, and buyers are not able to take price high enough anymore. And then of course, when price blasts through the level. That's the clearest sign. Sometimes you have these levels that look like very unbreakable, and suddenly price just moves like if nothing happened. Okay, so let's see a few examples so we understand this very good. Okay, so here we are at our Great Britain pound US dollar chart, and we have a few of these samples that are very clear. First, let's look at a couple of samples of price rejection when resistance and support actually work as such. So, for example, we have this one here that is very clear. As you can see, we have a very strong move to the downside, and then we find support. Just imagine that here price went very low and suddenly it got rejected. We have this big rejection candle, and that means that this line actually worked as support. So very strong momentum to the downside, but very strong rejection as well, and then that comes with a lot of force to the upside, right? Then here we have another example. We have price that moved directly into this resistance line here, and yeah, you can see here very clearly how price was actually very high, and then it was rejected on the same day, and the next day we have another rejection candle, and then the price is going back down. Okay, so I think these are very clear examples. We could just go back and find more of these examples. Let's see. So as you know, these are breakout examples. Okay, here we have another one that is very clear. So price is moving almost without stop, higher, and then suddenly resistance, and then big rejection candle, and we even test it once again, and then it drops, right? Well, eventually we had more testing, and eventually it drops again. So yeah, you want to, maybe we can find another one. There's always a lot of these examples. Yeah, here we have another one. Right here, we have these very big bullish candles, a lot of pressure, then rejection, then one try again, another rejection, and then price goes down. So I think these are very clear examples, and you can find them everywhere. Just you can go and look for yourself. First, remember to draw your support and resistance lines, and then you will find a lot of these examples. So now let's see the other possibility, which is that we have a breakout. Here we have a very clear one. It's this one, this area. Maybe we can draw it in a different color so it's more obvious. So for example, here we have a high, price was going very quick, got rejected, but tested again, got rejected, tested again, and then we start to have higher lows until it breaks, right? So you can see here we have our, it's like a triangle, yeah, something like that. That higher lows, and then it breaks. Okay, and for example, right now we are testing this support line. We don't know, of course, what is going to happen, but as you can see, well, it's like a big range, very big range, but you can see that we have a high, then a test, then a lower high, then a test, then a lower high, then another test. So right now I would say we have a better chance of going actually breaking through this support. But you can see how the support lines that we draw are actually very accurate. You can work with them, they are very clear. Okay, let's see. I would say this line could be like this. This line is not to trade. This trend line is not to trade. It's just to show you how we have lower lower highs and lower highs, and we are testing this level. Okay, so let's find another example somewhere. Something interesting. Well, you could say this here. This is like price just breaks through this line like it doesn't exist and then breaks again, but you don't really see it working as a support and or resistance, just maybe in this little candle here. But in general, price just manages to move swiftly through it, and then that is like a very clear example of when the resistance just don't act like that and price just moves swiftly through the line and keeps on going in the direction, in this case a bullish direction, right? Well, here we have another one is smaller. If we could see it, let's see, 22 of November 2017. Yeah, here it is. You can see that we were going higher lows, higher lows, resistance, breakout, higher lows, and then many tests. Look here, we are on the 4-hour because on the daily it wasn't so clear, but here you can see, well, we could actually, yeah, well, here is fine because here we have a very clear the line is like very clear, right? Something like this. Well, we have this attempt to actually break to the downside, but there's a lot of pressure, a lot of tests, a breakout, more tests, higher highs. Even this high is higher than this high. Yeah, this high is higher than, I mean, this high. Yeah, there. Here you can see that it's not, it's this high is higher, so eventually price just breaks out through the range. Okay, let's see what else we can find. Yeah, here's another example. This is very clear. Price just without like stopping for any reason just breaks out, and that's a very powerful move. I mean, the line don't even exist, right? Although here it was valid, and we can go forward back here, it was valid many times. You can see big rejection candles here, that it went back down, etc. But suddenly it just didn't matter anymore, and price decided to just break it like it doesn't exist. Okay, so yeah, I think we have a few good examples already. Please ask in the comments if you don't understand any of the concepts. I would be more than happy to explain them to you again. And yeah, let's go back to the presentation. So I hope that by now you have a much better understanding of support and resistance, and when it's relevant for trading as a rejection or as a breakout trade, right? If you want to know more about my way of trading, you can go and download my book on Amazon. It's very cheap. I will leave a link on the description, and then there you will learn very clear strategies to actually start to become a profitable trader, even if you are just starting on trading. And of course, I will also leave a link on the description so you can visit my blog, forexlife.me. There you can find a free trading course. You only have to leave your email address, and I will send you a 3-part video course where you will learn a lot, or you will learn more if you read the book first and then take the course. That's the best way of doing it, but you can do it the way you want. If you just want to watch the video course, that's fine as well. And yeah, I hope you like the video, and I hope to see you in the next one. Have an awesome week and great luck in your training.